and without. So this is going to be a general collective message, which means not everything in this video will resonate with you, or maybe none of it will. Not everything in this video will resonate with everybody, and at different points in your ascension or spiritual journey, you may resonate with things more or less. Okay, I'm just going to gently open up the space. I'm an energy quantum healer, and I work with sound, frequencies. So you may see, sense, or feel me moving, shifting, and transmuting energy as we move through this message together. Oh, okay. So today's message was definitely started with a clairaudient message that started as soon as I woke up, which was a very beautiful song, a very clear message that has led to what I'm being guided to call the Romeo and Juliet frequency. Okay, so okay, so as soon as I woke up this morning and stretched coming out of the astral space, I clairaudiently heard. And if you've been drawn to this video, you probably most likely have some kind of clairaudient abilities. You most likely receive messages, information, guidance via audio messages, as well as hearing, sensing, and maybe even seeing frequency. So the sound that I heard was brothers and sisters, together we'll make it through. I know you've been hurting, but I've been waiting to be there for you. And I'll be there just helping you out whenever I can. Everybody's free to feel good. Everybody's free to feel good. So of course that is from the soundtrack of Romeo and Juliet, the Baz Luhrmann version. Sometimes I feel like Baz Luhrmann's work, a lot of it is actually channeled, particularly in terms of images. So yeah, that's what sparked this message. That's what sparked this whole reading, is hearing that song. It's a message that is about the collective, that is about collective care, about the way that we can support each other in realms beyond the physical. So somebody who might be a great distance from you, who might be overseas from you, who might even be across the veil from you, can provide support and assistance and guidance for you throughout your spiritual journey. Let me just get a candle going. I acknowledge your ancestors known and unknown. I acknowledge my ancestors known and unknown, and the ancestors of the ground on which I stand. And please take these messages as metaphorically or symbolically as you need to. Please also understand this is a channeled space. I am channeling. So again, not everything is as literal as it may sound. There's something important about sound. Like, I'm very aware of all the sounds that I'm making right now, like the lighter, the sounds of the cicadas outside. You know, like, there's something about sound. If you do not work with sound frequencies, this is definitely a confirmation and an invitation to do so. Please give me clear divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. So the Romeo and Juliet frequency, I'm seeing Mercutio, who is the friend who introduces, who is the cousin, no, the friend of the cousin who introduces Romeo and Juliet. So some things about the frequency is it is about the heart space. It is about love. It is about overlapping timelines. It is about the cleansing of bloodlines, the transmutation of generational expectations from one generation to the next is what I am hearing. Thank you, Spirit. I'm also hearing that in many ways Shakespeare himself was a channeler, and a lot of the words, the monologues, the interactions, the archetypes that were so well presented by Shakespeare in written form that captured the hearts of so many and still does till this day, which is actually kind of mind-blowing if you think about it, or if you feel about it, I should say. That there is definitely coding around the heart space within Shakespearean. And there's also something about that, like the rhythmic way of Shakespeare wrote, or Shakespeare's plays are written. The delivery, the what is that called? It's like the pattern of the speech. Please give me clear divine guidance to be most beneficial for the world. Try and open yourself up to this message as much as you can. If you've been drawn to this video, you may or may not have gone through some kind of devastating heartbreak, or something that may have seemed to be in some way in the stars. The Romeo and Juliet frequency is also connected to the frequency of rose and rose quartz. Rose is known to be one of the highest, some would say the highest frequency on earth, which is why roses are such a classic, well-known symbol of love, of romance, of affection. So the Romeo and Juliet frequency is also about loves and timelines that cannot fit, that do not fit within social paradigms, within social norms, within cross-cultural, cross-spiritual, is what I just channeled. Cross-spiritual relationships and loves. I just heard heartstrings. There's so much symbolism in Romeo and Juliet. The star-crossed lovers, the Please give me clear divine guidance. Just try and be as open to this message as you can, understanding that this message may not actually come through about a specific relationship in your life, but may be coming through that. Well, it's more about the actual frequency. And the frequency is about holding love above all. And the frequency of love is the most powerful frequency that we truly have. Um, in terms of a frequency, the most powerful force, if you want to call it a force. I might just put some vibes, put some coding in here. Never forget your ability to change the frequency and energy that is around you. Um, So, for those of you that are moving through this message with a wounded heart, we just want to remember that no matter what happens between you and one other individual or a series of individuals, that the love that you have held between somebody else and you always exists. So the love between Romeo and Juliet always existed before they met, which is why these star-crossed lovers, this very intense reaction. Please give me clear divine guidance for the collective at this time. I'm hearing like a lot of things, like it's a very loud kind of orchestra of sounds that I'm hearing in this moment. So I'm just trying to draw the message out. Again, working with sound and practicing your clairaudient abilities is going to be helpful for you in your spiritual path. I'm just hearing you don't know love until you know loss. And that is part of the inspiring element of the Romeo Juliet frequency, which can also, we can also look at it as the rose frequency. The the limitless, unconditional love that can rise somebody up out of their status, out of their self-conscious, their self-limiting self-consciousness, out of their over-identification with the self, with everything that the spirit has been born into, all of the attachments to the particular vessel. So the two houses of Romeo and Juliet had generations of war, of battle, of quote unquote bad blood between them. There was a lot of low vibrational frequencies that went on between the two families. The Capulets and the Montagues, So we can also see that Shakespeare purposely wrote the Capulets and the Montagues to be very different energies, almost like more yin and more yang on either side of the Capulets or the Montagues. You may be experiencing something in your life, or you may have experienced something in your life that is also similar, where there are two different places, people, groups of peoples, two different pathways, two different options, two different very clear ways of moving through the world, such as you can see between the Capulets and the Montagues. The thing is that Romeo and Juliet tapped into the frequency of divine love between them that existed beyond that paradigm, that existed beyond the low frequencies that had gone on for generations between these two bodies, these two energies. And again, I want to remind you that although I'm using Shakespeare and Romeo and Juliet to translate and describe this frequency, but the frequency, when you boil it down, is about true love. And true love is that Two of Cups. That is, I hold out my cup to share with you, but I also deserve and expect to receive love from your cup into my cup, and for you to receive love from my cup into your cup. This, the Two of Cups energy, the Two of Cups frequency, which again is also about duality, balancing the duality within the self and within others via love, via the frequency of rose, by the frequency of love, by this divine higher consciousness level of love that exists beyond a person's limitations and trappings of the self. Please give me clear divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. There's also a clear link between love and death. I was joking with someone the other day about, well, they were talking about Kundalini energy, and we're talking about Kundalini energy and the rebirthing that can be connected to healthy, stable activation, healing, and honoring of Kundalini energy, which of course is your sexual energy, your base chakra energy, your earthly realm, your physical body energy, as well as many other things, sexual energy, sensual energy. Kundalini energy is also life force energy. So the capacity to tap into the true higher concepts and frequencies of love is to be truly alive, is what Spirit is saying. It is to be truly living, to have your heart truly beating, to be able to hold your cup of love and offer it to somebody and receive their love from their cup is one of the highest forms of human interaction that can exist, is what I'm hearing. I'm also being reminded and reminding you that love can also exist between yourself and the world, the world itself. Please give me clear divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. So the Romeo Juliet frequency. Brothers and sisters together will make it through. I know you've been hurting, but I've been waiting to be there for you. And I'll be there just helping you out whenever I can. Everybody's free to feel good. Everyone's free to have an expanded heart space. Everybody is free to be loved, to give and receive love, regardless of who they are in this incarnation. I know you've been hurting, but and it's also about the love that exists in many forms, in many shapes, which is what, of course, the Ten of Cups is about. That is about not only having a strong, intimate, romantic partnership, or perhaps not having one at all. It is about having all of those cups filled with the love that is appropriate for you, the love that you choose, the love that matches your frequency. So at this time, okay, thank you. Please bring forward the collective message and then we will pull some cards. The reason that I am being asked, the reason I'm being asked to speak of this frequency of, how do they want me to describe it? Paradigm breaking love. Paradigm breaking love. This frequency of true love, which is not necessarily romantic, is not necessarily sexual, but is about seeing the true worth and value in another life force, in another life frequency, in another's heart space, in another's way of expressing and showing up in love, of being brave within love, which is also another part of the Romeo and Juliet frequency. It is about holding love above the temptations of the devil card, above the temptations of hate, of lust without love, of inflicting and projecting pain, of some of the more toxic frequencies that humans are challenged to refuse throughout their incarnation. So we can look at it and talk about souls coming to earth to learn different things. And everything that you learn is, I just heard, love is the rudder. So love is the guiding force. Love is the lighthouse. Love is that which can allow empathy between people, places, energies of different frequencies, of different codes, of different origins, of different bloodlines, of different cultures, of different, vastly different lived experiences, both in this incarnation and others. How do we live together? How do we harmoniously share and love for and heal the earth? Because the healing of the earth, the healing of Gaia, is in turn the healing of the self. The healing of the self is in turn the healing of Gaia. Oh, such big activation. Whew. So wherever you are along this path, please give me clear directions. Wherever you are along this path of your quote unquote spiritual journey, your spiritual path, you will find that there is a constant undercurrent, a constant question underneath the many trials and tribulations that you will move through in your spiritual journey. In your journey to be that pure channel, that pure bridge between the ether, the higher ups, and this earthly realm, to pull nirvana down through the higher consciousness and bring it into existence. And that nirvana is not a place of war, is not a place of competition, is not a place of even comparison. That nirvana is where everybody's walk is significant, everybody's heart space is valued, everybody deserves the same amount of love, compassion, healing, patience, empathy. These things are all innate in that space, in that nirvana energy. And that is also linked into the Romeo Juliet frequency that I'm tapping in today here at Codes of Harmony. And thank you everyone who clicks like, shares, and subscribes, because it really does help. And it bounces out these messages to get to more members of the collective, and we can rise together. So this connection between death, that's what I was going to say, the connection between death and love, deep, true, paradigm breaking love, is that opportunity to be reborn, be reborn in your self image as well as the image that others see, through the eyes of others, through the eyes of some other who you love and care for, in a way that breaks paradigms that exist. That frequency exists above, because of the equality, the high frequency of true love that exists beyond all of the earthly trappings, that exists beyond the class you've been born into, even the location and the place you've been born into. It exists beyond your physical limitations of the vessel that your soul has been incarnated into. If you truly love someone, you don't care if they're disabled. If you truly have the ability to tap into this divine frequency, then you love that being for everything that they are. And you can hold and honor the spiritual journey, the spiritual awakening, the higher consciousness within another, regardless of if that is in a romantic, in a plutonic, in even just a galactic way. And that is also what, there, throughout the story of Romeo and Juliet, there are multiple characters, kind of side characters, that have been written in by Shakespeare or channeled in by Shakespeare, who assist and help Romeo and Juliet. So there's the maid, the nanny or the maid who's responsible for caring for Juliet. And she knows that the relationship is going on, and she is so moved and touched and inspired, and feels that frequency, that higher frequency of love, that she helps hide the relationship and helps allows them to meet each other, allows them to have these precious moments together. Please give me clear divine guidance, that will be most beneficial for everyone involved. Please give me clear divine guidance to be most beneficial for the collective at this time. There is also the other character that's significant in helping and assisting the love of the Romeo and Juliet, who again come from places of low frequency, low vibration. And there are also definite messages, deeper messages around, if you wanted to summarize things like generational curses, family curses, intergenerational healing. There's definitely deeper messages connected between the Capulets and the Montagues. And so it's almost like by their death, by their choice to choose to believe, to be with each other in another plane of existence, rather than be alive and not be able to be together, or be forced to be in other, to not be able to honor and follow that high frequency of love, that rose frequency of paradigm breaking love. That almost brings a death to the generational curse, the generational curses, the plague upon the house of both the Capulets and the Montagues. And that's also an interesting part of that particular play or movie, if you've only seen the movie, is that after they die, Mercutio says a plague upon both your houses. And so that also in some way levels this very vast differences between these two different low vibrational generational curse patterning. And so that can be symbolized, or we can see that as a metaphor or a symbol for so many things. The French call an orgasm le petit mort, which means a tiny death, because the ecstasies of this higher vibrational love, of true love, true bliss, true ecstasy, is directly linked to death and rebirth. And that is significant because it is about you, thank you, Spirit, because that death and rebirth, that risking everything to be together, risking everything to share moments, risking everything to have their love continue and their connection to continue beyond this earthly realm. That is not only expanding Romeo and Juliet's consciousness and opening their heart space to a very extensive amount, but it is also them believing in divinity, them believing in there being something beyond the incarnation and the existence that they were trapped in, something beyond this earthly realm. You know, we say all the time in the spiritual community, quote unquote, spiritual community, that we are souls, we are spirits having an earthly existence, having a human existence. And this Romeo and Juliet frequency is about meeting and matching the highest frequency that we have, which is love in all its forms. But understanding that that love always has and will always exist beyond this earthly realm, beyond many other planes of existence, in every plane of existence, that love is destined, that love has pre-existed, that love is in the quantum space is forevermore. And when you can tap into that, you can let go of karmics. You can let go of past loves, pains, traumas connected to allowing somebody into your heart space or into your kundalini energy, your sexual, sensual life force energy. Sharing that with somebody, that is this love can take you, this true higher form of higher conscious love, this paradigm breaking love can transport and transcend, can transcend you beyond your human form, can transcend you to not only believe in and understand your multidimensional capacity, your limitless capacity, but to live it and to experience it and to enjoy it and to play with it and to risk all to honor and meet that transcendence that comes through this specific frequency. And, you know, that's why when you have a very deep heartbreak, you have a very deep love. When you lose somebody, you know, if you love somebody and they leave this realm, they leave this physical realm, We talk about them always living in your heart, always existing. And we've always spoken about it like that. It's always been in the heart space because of this Romeo and Juliet frequency that is about love, love conquering all. Not to sound cheesy, not to sound cliched. Even though cliches are actually a really like magic way of working with and speaking about archetypes. Wow, that is a long channeling. 35:35 on the tick over clock. Okay, I'm not going to hold this for too much longer because it is very because it's still I think this will unfold more and more. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Let's pull some cards about the Romeo and Juliet frequency in your spiritual journey. You might want to rewatch or go and watch that movie as well. There's obviously been lots of different adaptations of Romeo and Juliet, but the soundtrack that I specifically channeled this morning is from the Baz Luhrmann. I'm sure I'm right about that. I'm sure that's correct, I mean. The Baz Luhrmann version with like Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes in it. I think it's also interesting that Claire Danes, when they meet in that film, is wearing angel wings. As a lot of the people who connect here in this space with me are part of the Earth Angel Collective. Also, there's just so much about Venus and Mars as well. Venusian energy and Mars energy. Mars is war, Mars is battle. So the two families, the two, you could imagine it as not just families, but civilizations, even different galactic species, races, genders, like these non-duality. Please give me clear divine guidance, be most beneficial for everyone involved. So that's Mars, when it's like, when the parents of Romeo and Juliet refused to let them be together because of the hate and bad blood and clearing the throat chakra and ongoing issues between those two different families. Connected to that Ten of Swords energy of betrayal, and very much also connected to greed and all of the trappings connected to the Devil card. And then the love that exists between Juliet and Romeo is Venusian, is Venus, is both of them dropping into vulnerability and tapping into their divine feminine frequencies within, and their capacity to give and receive for the Two of Cups. And then also how do they end up using their Mars to defend their love, rather than the way that the two families were using their Mars energy, their war energy to battle, to have generations and generations of battle. Please give me clear divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. Your Romeo and Juliet frequency within your spiritual journey. Your Romeo and Juliet frequency, the Romeo and Juliet frequency in your spiritual journey. Okay, it's kind of funny. So, 7 of Cups, choices. This is interesting considering a lot of the channeling over the last week has been about multi-dimensional timelines, multiple choice points, as well as karma, which of course is connected to different choices. Also, this is obviously Cups, which is love, the frequencies of love. If Romeo and Juliet had chosen to marry the people that their families had lined up for them, they both would have ended up with lots of physical abundance. They both would have ended up with lots and lots of money. They both would have inherited all of the riches and wealth and esteem and class and the properties that the Capulets and the Montagues owned, because they're both very rich, abundant families in the physical realm. But the love that exists between Romeo and Juliet, that higher frequency of paradigm breaking love, is worth more than all of the riches that they were going to inherit, so they choose that. We then have the Magician card, Gemini energy. I just saw the Lovers card flash in my head, which is of course also the Gemini energy. But the Magician can manifest anything, and the Magician is in control of the frequencies that are in their life. And I'm hearing so many things. Please give me clear divine guidance. That'll be most beneficial for everyone involved. The second figure that I was going to mention, who assists and helps Romeo and Juliet. Ooh. And helps Romeo and Juliet because they are moved by their love, is the priest that actually marries them, that secretly marries them. And that priest knows both families, knows the feud that has gone on for generations between the Capulets and the Montagues. This is all symbols that will mean different things for you. And so there's probably somebody in your life that is either got magician frequency, magician energy, or is introducing you to your own magician frequency and energy. Please give me clear divine guidance for most beneficial. The Romeo and Juliet frequency within the collective. The Romeo and Juliet frequency within the spiritual path. Wow. Woo. Okay, so first we had another 7. 7 could be significant for you. You could have been connected to somebody for 7 years. You could be going through a 7-year life cycle change. 7 could be the number of a significant date or time for you, such as an anniversary. It could be 7 o'clock where you are. This is also about waiting for your harvest, waiting for your, it's what you, reaping what you've sown. We then have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is a messenger of the cerebral space, the mind space. So a lot of you, this is about telepathy. You either have very strong skills of telepathy that you either have or have not tapped into, or you are connected to somebody that has very strong skills in telepathy. Romeo and Juliet undoubtedly had a telepathic connection. Undoubtedly, while they had all of these physical things stopping them from communicating, they had a love that gave them access to higher realms of consciousness, and they had communication that was taking place beyond the veil. We then have the Empress, abundant energy. This is also the energy of creation. So, you know, everything that is created by the two frequencies of Romeo and Juliet coming together, that is present in your spiritual journey at the moment. It's important for you, I'm channeling that it's important for you to acknowledge those that have been significant in your spiritual journey, in your spiritual path. It is also significant and important for you to understand your spiritual influence, impact, and spiritual authority, which again is connected to having the ability, the vulnerability, and the divine surrender to everything that can come with risking love, with putting your heart on the line. And Romeo and Juliet lost their pentacles, both. um, they lost their physical vessel, but they gained so much more sovereignty, wealth, and abundance within the soul, within the heart, as they chose that paradigm breaking love. And obviously, it goes without saying that there are other more heavy, some would say darker conversations or elements to do with the kind of cruelty of the physical world that they found themselves in, and the cruelty of the physical, earthly, pentacle reality of the 3D that wanted to restrict and stop the divine, natural, organic flow of a higher conscious level of love. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. Please give me clear divine guidance, be most beneficial for everyone involved. Collaboration. So it's you, another divine love, somebody else who has the ability to meet divine love, and the divine. That's the way it's coming across today. Can we please get clarification on the Seven of Cups, please? Seven of Cups and the Four of Pentacles, which is about holding on too tight, restriction, and this is coming across today as having your choices be restricted by outside forces. This is something that is a spiritual test for you in your spiritual journey. Can we have clarification for the Magician card, please? The Magician card is being clarified by the Three of Wands, which is stepping out into your dreams, stepping out into the horizons of, I just heard splendor and wonder. That's cute. So it's, yeah, dreaming what love looks like in your life, what standard of love you're happy to receive and give, what level of union, of consciousness are you actually prepared for? People can be married their whole lives and never actually truly consciously connect in their higher conscious realm, in their true state. Some people will hide who they are and mask who they are from their partners, from their loved ones, be it romantic or platonic, because of the for many it's a fear thing, right? And so, you know, the magician is fearless, the magician is bold. You could say that the Three of Wands is a much more cautious energy and frequency. I just heard daffodils. Daffodils could mean something for someone. Um, I just heard glorious. A lot of you are also being assisted. Oh, it's really sweet. Are being assisted by your grandmothers at this time. It could also obviously be a grandmother frequency that you have come into contact with during your incarnation, or another incarnation, but there is a definite grandmother, like a protective grandmother frequency here. And I believe that is also because the older understand almost more than the young how precious that wild, reckless love is. And again, that ability to transcend beyond your earthly limitations. Please give me clear divine guidance, be most beneficial for everyone involved. What was I getting clarification on? The Seven of Pentacles. I keep going to say pentagrams. Oh, okay. Please give me clear divine guidance, be most beneficial for everyone involved. The Four of Swords is clarifying the Seven of Pentacles. Sorry. Oh my gosh. So please give me clear divine guidance, so you're most beneficial for everyone involved. The Romeo and Juliet frequency in your spiritual path, in your spiritual journey, also involves letting the wound mend. There will be times when paradigm breaking love cannot exist in the 3D. But if maybe cannot is not the right term, but it will not come into the physical reality for multiple different reasons. So this is also about allowing pain to move with flow, allowing heartbreak to mend with an organic, natural flow, allowing all of the elements to tend to the mending of the heart, and allowing and understanding and believing that true love, higher consciousness love, will always exist, regardless of what is happening in the physical, which is also why the Four of Swords is somebody who is resting, who is sleeping. And also sometimes this can come across almost looking like somebody who's going to sleep for good, you know, for the long haul, which again comes back to that divine connection between love and death, between love and loss, because you can rebirth yourself, not only through higher states of pleasure and intimacy, but through truly allowing yourself to be seen and truly seeing somebody else in a higher conscious level, or in a higher realm of reality, a higher dimension of reality, which again may not always come into the physical existence. And that's also connected to this waiting for your crops, waiting for your harvest. Let's get clarification on the Empress. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for seeking harmony both within and without. And everyone who supports the channel, I'm really thankful and so grateful for all of my new subscribers and those who have been on this journey with me from the beginning. Please give me clear divine guidance, most beneficial. The Empress. The Okay. The Empress is being clarified, unfortunately, by the Seven of Swords, which is often spoken about, often speaks of a underhanded, sneakier energy. But today it's coming across as jealousy and envy. So many times when a being is sitting in their Empress or Emperor energy, there will be onlookers, outside energies, outside frequencies that are triggered and inspired to further grow, heal, expand in consciousness via certain feelings they may have around seeing, sensing, and feeling the abundance and the love that is experienced and held within the Empress or Emperor frequency. And the Empress and Emperor have been through a lot. That's always like an energy that I pick up on, is knowing, because that when you've been through a lot, that's when so it's almost like Romeo and Juliet were raised around so much hate for each other's families that that they were, just by being who they were and feeling what they felt, were changing the frequencies of everybody around them. We're changing the dynamic, automatically change the dynamic between these different forces of the Capulets and the Montagues. Okay, I'm going to get an oracle card. Let's close it out with the Literary Witches Oracle, which has different symbols from different books as well as different writers, inspiring predominantly assigned female at birth writers. Please give us clear divine guidance, be most beneficial for everyone involved. Let's wrap this up with some symbols that you can connect into for your own individual spiritual path, and the way that this paradigm breaking love frequency, as well as the frequency of rose and rose quartz, is showing up in your spiritual journey. Woo! Okay. We have Octavia E. Butler, The Future. And this is a sci-fi writer. So sci-fi could have meanings or messages for you. If there's a sci-fi book or film that you've been considering watching, there are probably messages and activations within that for you. In this card, there is also definitely a sense of that death and rebirth, about life and love, the frequencies, the true pure frequencies, such as love. It's not the best way to say it, but I'm doing my best here. That they transcend beyond the physical form. And then we have Emily Bronte with fantasy. Some of you are hearing are huge Emily Bronte fans, and you're being encouraged to think about who your favorite character is and why. And then ask yourself, is your favorite character from any of the Emily Bronte books or films, books into films that you have seen? Who's your favorite character, and is that the person you resonate with and see yourself as? If not, who is the person you resonate with the most? We then have Cat. And it's a classic black cat. I just heard Black Friday and Friday the 13th. So it's also about we fell in love in a hopeless place. We fell in love in a hopeless place. We fell in love in a hopeless place. Yeah, it's also about defying the odds by the bravery of the heart and soul. And then we have Lantern, the inner light, as well as following your true north, and seeing and holding space for the inner light in those around you, those you love, as well as finding the inner light within everyone and loving everybody in the ether. Yeah. Please give us clear divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Fall in love in a hopeless place. And then tree. Tree. I just heard wishing tree. Wishing well. And wellness tree. Interesting. For some of you working with plant medicine and herbs will be beneficial, especially if you are healing and mending from a serious heartbreak. This also makes me think of the tree of life. Please give me clear divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. What are some final messages for the collective around this Romeo and Juliet frequency within their spiritual path? Okay, Charlotte Perkins Gilman with freedom. Freedom, because love is liberation. And love can liberate you out of the most limiting physical situations you may find yourself in. And volcano. Yesterday, messages came through around the tectonic plate shifting. And for many of you looking into the geographic history as well as the spiritual folklore meanings behind Iceland will be very helpful and beneficial. Some of you are connected via bloodline, past life, or time travel. I'm hearing to Iceland and the way that Iceland was formed, which was via volcanoes under the sea. Volcanoes under the sea, may your love be free. Volcanoes under the sea. Can they see you? Can you see me? Volcanoes under the sea. Let your heart soar free. So some of the symbols that we're working with are cats, lanterns, trees, volcanoes, and some of the subject matter is the future, fantasy, and freedom. It's interesting that they're all F's as well, 3 F's. That could be funny. I mean, if I wasn't extremely mature, that could be funny. Milk, honey and milk. Honey and milk helps you sleep, is what I heard. Anais Nin, the subconscious. Of course, Anais Nin is also known for writing some of the most powerful words about love and intimacy, as well as liberation of the self, um, particularly divine feminine. Please give me clear divine guidance who most beneficial. Bravery. Yeah, be brave. Be brave. And you can see this figure is like, it's like today it's coming across as that's her earthly form, and this is her her form, her etheric body moving in love, rising in love. And teacup. And love kind of is like a storm in a teacup. But nobody except for the people in love knows how big the storm is, really, if that makes sense. And I can feel some songs coming in. If you're lost, you can, I can, and I will find you. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting. Time after time. Time after time. You say go slow. I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting. Time after time. Yeah, because time is limitless. Love exists beyond all of the earthly trappings, beyond all the limitations, beyond everything that you were told you could or couldn't be, beyond everything that you imagined could or could not come into your future existence, and is a, you know, no matter what someone has been through, when they can tap into that higher conscious level of love, it can heal and transmute and soften even the grisliest of bears, is what I'm hearing. Okay, thank you for being here, and please do remember to click like and share and subscribe, so that we can keep bouncing out these messages to get to more members of the collective. I'm sending you so much unconditional, limitless love, forgiveness if you need it, longing if you need it, a praise and gratitude if you need it. Everything that you could need or want is in your own cup. And once you understand that, you can safely share and offer your cup to another or another's, if you so choose. And that is the beautiful thing about this Romeo Juliet frequency, is they just said, fuck y'all. We don't care about the rules. We don't care about the matrix. We don't care about the generational curses and the devil card frequencies that all the outside forces were pushing onto Romeo and Juliet. They saw a higher timeline that existed beyond all of that. And you have that ability too. So much love from Codes of Harmony. Yeah, I hope this has been beneficial. I really hope, you know, this is, again, seems quite a aloof message that I think lots of people will take in lots of different ways, and I hope it's been beneficial to you, and I hope that you are receiving and giving love in the highest form that you are capable of. And I hope that you know that you are deserving of a love that will transcend beyond space, time, place, person, beyond the self. Lots of love from Codes of Harmony.